Stolen toys. And no, we're not talking about you-know-who. We're talking about the old-fashioned way that Transformer toys used to be stolen. The old smash and grab, the old five-finger discount, the old toy swap or figure swap. This has always been an issue in the toy industry. It was a big problem then, and it's still a big problem now. And this was brought to my attention during the Transformer Slag podcast live stream on Saturday, that a new patent was issued by Hasbro, and as well as a lot of other companies, but more specifically Hasbro has put out a patent of a new anti-theft and anti-tamper device. Now, I've actually seen versions of what they're submitting here in this patent in early forms, but I'll get into that in a moment. First, let's just do a little short history of anti-tamper and anti-theft methods when it comes to toys. So, in a lot of ways, the first time we ever saw I guess we'll call it, wide example of anti-theft done with toys was in 1993 when Bandai of America got a huge request from all the different retailers to figure out a way to prevent people from stealing their Power Ranger toys. The Power Ranger toys in 1993, for anyone who lived in that era, was insane. It was ridiculously popular. People were killing themselves over it. It was the must-have holiday item of that season. More than anything I could even imagine. It was just crazy. But one of the big problems that they were realizing is that people were also easily opening the product and stealing it in stores, whether it be children or adults. And a lot of companies at the time, some that aren't with us anymore, but KB Toys, Toys R Us, Walmart, and Kmart, were requesting to Bandai of America if you could find out a way to somehow secure the figures properly into the package so that it would not be as easy to, like I said at the beginning here, smash and grab. Just take it out and then put it in your pocket easily. It used to be figures were on a card back, and then they were on a bubble, and then they had an interior bubble that was sculpted in a way to kind of keep the figures secure in there for shipping. But still, you could tear it off the bubble and then tear it out of the interior tray bubble, if you will. Put it in your pocket and call it a day. Now, this was kind of circumvented with the boxed products. The Megazord and Power Rangers still had some form of tie wraps that held everything down, sometimes tape. But the carded items were the ones that were the easiest to steal. So Bandai started hauling out in late in 1994, 95, using zip ties, twist ties, paper ties, anything that could be done to hold down those figures. And because Power Rangers just was the best-selling toy and in-demand toy at that time, other companies were paying attention to what Bandai of America was doing. They soon followed suit because, hey, they want to also have their product available in Walmarts and Toys R Us's and KB's and everything like that. And the rest was history. We go to today now, and in an effort to kind of make the world more economically friendly and, let's be real, to make packaging costs cheaper for the companies themselves, new kinds of packaging styles have been invented that kind of doubled as a way to be eco-friendly and hopefully also still prevent theft of product. But a lot of weird things were going on in the Transformer world. And it wasn't just Transformers. A lot of other companies, too, were also kind of following suit with this. Getting rid of the bubble in packaging. Kind of having the figure exposed so the customer could touch it and feel it, if you will. Sometimes changing from the much stronger plastic ties that tie down the figure to paper ties, which we still see on and off on the Transformer brand. Give you an example. Recently, Jackpot, the Golden Disc Collection one, came out, and it has yellow paper ties, which I found was quite interesting, considering Jackpot is a primarily yellow and black Transformer. So nice touch from anyone who did that in Hasbro. But either way, point is that, you know, there's been this, like, you know, sometimes we're doing the right thing, sometimes we're not, and right now they're kind of in the middle again, where it's like if you really wanted to steal some Transformer product, it's going to be pretty easy. I just picked up the Cyberverse Deluxes not too long ago, and I realized, wow, there's no bubble on these at all. If you wanted to, you could easily steal all the accessories for Cyberverse Deluxe Cheetor, let's say. They were just right there, ready to be ripped out. And they had paper ties. Again, interesting. So the thing that they've made a patent for here with Hasbro is they have this new key lock system, which I've seen before with the more, I guess we'll call it cheaper end Hasbro products, like their more simplistic Marvel figures with the 5 points of articulation that are kind of hollow. They'll have a figure that has a piece of its back kind of protruding out in an almost kind of key system. And the figure is then secured on the inside of the cardboard with usually a piece of plastic or cardboard that holds it in. When the figure is removed, you push that key that normally was securing the figure into the back of the figure. It goes flush, never to be removed again unless you probably had to take apart the figure or something. Even then, that probably would be difficult. And then that is that. And it kind of doubles as a slightly more economic way to secure the figure, because now you only have to really have one thing that's holding it down. It's the plastic from the figure itself and whatever cardboard or plastic that would be, securing it to the card back or the box. And the second reason is if that key lock has now been pushed in, it also then kind of confirms that the figure has been used, has been purchased, and is now considered also an anti-tamper method, because we suffer from another problem that still prevails to this very day, and what I talked about at the beginning of this segment, figure swapping. Now, figure swapping was something I was not aware existed until around the time of Armada and Energon, and seeing in stores, I would go to, let's say, a Walmart, and I go to pick up Energon Scorponok back in, 2004. And lo and behold, Energon Scorponok was not in the box, but how do I even put this? Dragonzord from Power Rangers, beat up inside there. And I remember taking a photo and posting it online going, what is going on here? And it was the beginning of an epidemic and a problem where Transformer toys were purchased, they were removed from package, and then put back into the package, sometimes not even a strong effort to match what's on the package, just whatever junk, and returned to where they came from. And unfortunately, the people at the return desk don't really give it a strong look. They return the money to the individual, and that is that. And not to mention, sometimes it's even worse than that. And I don't even want to get into the concept of stickering and all of that. That'll save that for a whole other discussion, where the theft reaches an even more scummier level of, oh my God, fraud and everything. But it's been something that's been going on easily for more than 15 years now within our hobby and other hobbies, the G.I. Joe collectors, the wrestling collectors. The amount of times that there's an opportunity to swap a figure and have the people at that store not be able to tell the difference. Imagine with wrestling figures, it's just guys in tights, right? To them, it's all the same. As long as it's a 6-inch dude who kind of looks like, a guy in his underwear, they'll take it back. So it's been a big problem. So with this key lock system, the belief is that if they do this, then the figure is proven that it can't be used, it can't be properly secured back to the packaging, and when it's returned, it would give this kind of tell to the store that something is not right here. But at the end of the day, and all of this that we've just talked about here, I think the biggest problem that still will always persist, and I think it'll always be a problem, is education. Because at the end of the day, retail workers aren't paid to educate themselves on every little facet of product. If you work at a Walmart at the return desk and you're talking millions of products from, paper towels to soap to toys to video games to makeup, you don't know what is what and what is considered, new in package and used in package and opened up. And so it's something that at the end of the day, is still going to persist because, and I don't expect the Walmart workers to know everything. I don't. There's millions of, us as toy fans, we go, well, they should educate themselves and know the difference between an Optimus Prime and a Bumblebee when it's returned in a buzzworthy Bumblebee package that still has Bumblebee on the cover. Like the ease of theft is so much caked into that it's not their fault. It really is just how the system is and everything, and there's only so much one could do. It's I sometimes go, wow. Like I think the best example I ever saw was there was a Transformers 2006 Cybertron toy. I want to say it was Leo Breaker. It was definitely one of those Voyager scale ones or Ultra scale. And I remember seeing it in a Zellers. This is picture Target, but Canada. I guess the best way to put it. There was a returned Leo Breaker, and inside it was literally a dollar store tractor trailer. That was it. Like a cheap, crappy ABS plastic tractor trailer was literally just tie wrapped into there, and that was that. And they took it back. Now, obviously, us as a collector going, that clearly does not belong in there. But, the return office employee probably just looked at it quickly, didn't notice that it was taped up and everything, and returned the money to that individual. And someone got a free Leo Breaker and their money back. So it's something that I feel, even though this patent is out there and I understand what they're trying to do, at the end of the day, I still think it'll be a problem that'll always persist. And it really is, at the end of the day, as much as they're going to try to prevent theft, there's always going to be people that are going to try to screw the system and try to make money the wrong way, and or just try to steal, straight up steal. And I don't know how much of a difference this is going to be. And also, I'll be honest with you, despite the fact that this is under Hasbro, I don't know how much of this is going to be implicated within our Transformer brand. We already know that the new core class for the Studio series is going to have an open bubble packaging. I've already seen through the new deluxe class Cyberverse Dinobots Unite stuff. It has an open bubble packaging using easy access to the figure in the store. I think at the end of the day, all you could really hope for is a world where purchases are tracked a little better, and I guess in the way that something could be purchased, and then when it's returned, they're able to then find out who returned it after the fact if something is wrong, and that individual could get caught for it. That's about it one could really, do. That's as much as advice as I could give, is that, when a figure is returned and the figure has been swapped out of the package or something, then at least, if someone points it out later on, after the return is done and the guy already got his money and went home, there has to be some way that a paper trail could exist. There's some places I know where you return stuff and you have to give an email address or you have to sign for something. There's always different kinds of systems. But again, they'll probably figure out a way around it. I mean, again, I don't want to go into the stickering one. That is a heavy, crazy one that I'll get into in another time, because that's a whole organized crime system that goes beyond just toy theft. It was just this crazy thing that was going on in Walmart for literally a good solid 5 years when it comes to theft of product, and people were getting away with it and then making money internally within the store. It was nuts. It was nuts. But that's a whole other story. So let me know what you think about this. Again, I'll post the small image of the patent in obviously the thumbnail of the video, and I'll post the link to the actual patent itself in the pinned comment below of the segment, and you can go check it out and read it. I mean, I've seen this done already before with their larger Marvel, cheap quality, low-end 5-point of articulation product. I don't know if they'll implicate this full-time to something like, say, Transformers. I think that would probably, interfere with some of the tooling and designing. And considering that this is also a product that's done both in collaboration with Takara Tomy, where they don't really have that problem over there like we have here, they probably won't have to want to think about that kind of stuff. So let me know what you think. It's a weird one. But it's a reality in our hobby.